Illuminati is a thing you need to watch out for. They want to depopulate and slave us so much more. World domination, I'll get into that later. I'm hardcore, fierce and sexy. You're just a hater. You deserve the ridicule because you're an absolute zero. I'm the keeper of the chalice, a rock and roll hero. I'm not an idiot nobody listens to, because I'm not a failure in life like you. Let's talk about Bill Gates and the mark of the beast and the orgies in the streets at the Catholic feasts and Bill and Hillary's human trafficking ring. And George Soros got the money to pay for everything. Socialism is for losers, working for the devil. Chumps that can't fight, they ain't on my level. It takes an evil one to try to debunk and doubt it, so I'd rather die than stop talking about it. Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out. Watch out for the Illuminati. Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out. Watch out for the Illuminati. Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out. Watch out for the Illuminati. Watch out for the Illuminati.
Good morning, you're watching the MC Too Tall Show with your hardcore, fierce, and sexy host, MC Too Tall. Now, you already know what happened the other night. New York elected Mamdani mayor. And now you got all the people, all the public figures who pleaded and then shouted and tried to bribe and blackmail Curtis Sliwa to drop out, telling us who voted for him, I told you so. They're going to go on an I told you so tour. There's the apology tour, and then there's the I told you so tour. And the pundits from WABC are doing that. I'm sure John Catsimatidis and Sid Rosenberg will be telling you that. But leading the charge this time around is Dominic Carter. You know, I don't care if you're claiming you like Curtis Sliwa more than Cuomo, but you're going to vote for Cuomo anyway because of the odds. We saw how that panned out, because even if you combine Curtis's votes with Cuomo, Mamdani still would have lost. Why? So you could have one candidate with a bigger culmination of votes than what could have been? That's stupid. You can't go independent versus Democrat. It was supposed to be the Republican versus the Democrat. And let me tell you something, there would have been more Cuomo voters switching over to Sliwa in the absence of Cuomo than Sliwa voters getting behind Cuomo with the absence of Sliwa. True diehard Sliwa voters would have stayed home if there was no Sliwa to vote for. And we have to just face reality. We have to face reality that we, the normal people of New York, who want nice things, are outnumbered by people who are either born sickos or are suffering from temporary insanity. But needless to say, by their vote, they have told us, normal people of New York who want nice things, you can't have nice things. And the majority of New York wants this chaos. We don't want it. We don't like it. Us normal people don't want it or like it, but the majority wants the chaos about to roll in. And who's to say if it'll even be chaos? He'll probably be a better mayor, this Mamdani guy. He'll probably be a better mayor than Cuomo was as a governor. Yeah, remember, there's all kinds of safeguards, okay? You got people trying to walk their moderate tag back to the center. They trying to walk back to the center to see if they can pull up more votes, which means they will have to oppose Mamdani on certain issues. That includes Governor Hochul, who endorsed him. But if he crashes and burns, that will be on Kathy Hochul's head for endorsing him. And Hakeem Jeffries as well. Imagine Hakeem Jeffries is voted out of office by the constituents of his district. That would be funny. Uber stupid funny. And meanwhile, you got Chuck Schumer looking over his shoulder at every corner, making sure AOC doesn't put in a bid to run against him for senator. You get a good senatorial candidate, and who knows? I don't want Sid Rosenberg running as a Republican for Senate. He's a silly-nilly radio host. Curtis Sliwa was a viable candidate for mayor. Sid Rosenberg will never get my support if he decides to cross over into politics and run for office. I'm sorry, it just is what it is. He's a nice guy and all, but I don't trust him with a public office. I just don't. And I don't think he's gonna do that anyway. He better not try. But yeah, I oppose him for running for public office. And Dominic Carter with the I told you so's. I tried to tell you. And the math isn't mathing. His math is not mathing. And WABC, all of them, Rosenberg, John Catsimatidis, Dominic Carter, they didn't just stab Curtis in the back, they twisted their knives. And I could never trust these guys again. These are those fair weather Republicans that I don't like. People that ride Donald Trump's coattails until there's a little mix-up or a panic or a crisis that the media wants to blame on Trump. And you have the power of the media in your hands as well. You could put out counter reports and wield facts to squelch the freaking sensationalism. But you guys go by what liberal media is saying, run scared, and then lockstep with liberal media. These are the spineless Republicans I always speak of that we have to keep an eye on while defeating the liberals, the Democrats, the socialists, the communists, what has become the visible strong arm of the conglomerate. Yeah. And so what I mean by that, the real meaning behind this is that you never vote Democrat. They're scumbags. And they should be counting their blessings that you don't punch them in the face. You should want to punch these bastards in the face, much less want to vote for them for any reason. There's no such thing as a reasonable, moderate, centrist Democrat that's going to fulfill your needs. Democrats are not for the people, they're for themselves, and they're all about control. They like controlling everything. They like controlling your speech. They like controlling everything because they're narcissistic, dictator-minded fucks. So don't vote for those fucks. Vote Republican or conservative when you can, but there's no sin in voting Libertarian if the Republican candidate sucks or if the conservative is too fanatical. I find that voting conservative is usually a slightly safer bet than voting even libertarian. So there's your priorities. You write off the Democrats, never vote Democrat, and then your choices are your libertarians, your Republicans, and your conservatives. First, you vote for the Republican candidate. You see what that Republican candidate's about, and if it's a fucking asshole like Mitt Romney or Michael Bloomberg, then you look at the conservative candidate. And if that Republican candidate happens to be a fucking asshole that got on the conservative ticket as well, look towards the Libertarian Party and then vote for the Libertarian. But if the Republican's not an asshole, then of course you vote for the Republican. Don't give the Democrats nothing. Don't give them your vote for nothing. They don't deserve it. And that's how you have to look at it. You have to, when you elect your Republicans, hold their feet to the fire and get them to do what you want them to do. And if they don't, vote conservative, vote libertarian, anything not to vote for somebody that you believed in that turned around and scumbagged you. Okay? I don't regret my Trump vote. I like what Donald Trump is doing. George Bush let me down after he got my vote the second time. I voted for him both times. And he let me down a year into his second term. I took it out on John McCain, plus John McCain had his own reasons for me voting against him. That's what made me do the experiment and roll the dice with Obama. And if you remember back then, Elliot Spitzer was still in office and he was still serving his purpose. So I figured, hey, this Democrat vote was working pretty well. He got rid of Peter Calico. I fucking can't stand Peter Calico, but he got rid of him, yay. And Spitzer ended up leaving office in disgrace. In disgrace. I said, you know what? This Obama vote might pan out. The Spitzer vote's working out so far. Let me try this. Let me try this Obama vote. And what happened? What happened? Obama turned out to be a fraud. So that's when I said, you know what? That's the last time I rolled the dice with the Democrats. I tried it. It didn't work. They became the fanatical freaks that they became. They tried controlling your speech. They went haywire. And it was time to make things moral again. But remember what Bush and company did to us? And that's where the Trump vote came from. I wasn't going to go with any of those other people. Wasn't going to go with any of those other people. If Trump didn't run, I probably would have supported Rand Paul. But here we are. Trump's my president, and I'm proud of him. Respect God. Watch out for the Illuminati. Like, follow, share, comment, subscribe. Stay strong. Keep kicking that slang. This is MC Too Tall. Bye-bye.